They say some places hold on to their dead. And sometimes the dead hold on to us. If you ever travel to Suffolk, England, you'll hear whispers about Castringham Hall, a beautiful old mansion, gardens, a silent lake. But something is missing. The ash tree. Because that tree wasn't just wood and branches. It was alive, and it was hungry. Back in 1690, there was a woman. Her name was Mrs. Mothersole. The villagers called her a witch. Sir Matthew Fell, Lord of Castringham Hall, claimed he saw her climb into the ash tree outside his window, a strange knife in her hand, cutting the bark, muttering words that weren't meant for human ears. When he followed her home, she vanished. Yet when he knocked on her door, she appeared at the window in her nightclothes, pretending to have been asleep. That was enough. The villagers dragged her to the gallows. Before she died, she screamed, "There will be guests at the hall." And then the rope snapped her neck. That night, guilt consumed Sir Matthew. The vicar assured him, "You did the right thing." But under the full moon, as they walked back to the hall, Matthew froze. Something was crawling down the ash tree. It wasn't a cat. It wasn't a bird. The vicar thought for just a second it had more than 4 legs. By morning, Matthew's servants found him dead, blackened, drained, no wounds. The window wide open, and outside, the ash tree seemed to lean closer to the house. For 40 years, Matthew's bedroom remained locked, until his grandson, Sir Richard Fell, claimed the house. Arrogant, careless, he mocked superstition even when graves were moved for his renovations, including the grave of Mrs. Mothersole. When it was opened, it was empty. No bones, no body, just darkness. Richard soon grew restless with his rooms, too noisy, too cold, too bright. Finally, he demanded to stay in that room, his grandfather's locked chamber. The servants begged him. "It's cursed," they whispered. But Richard only laughed. That night, he moved in. The ash tree's branches clawed at his window. A visitor arrived, William Crome, grandson of the old vicar. He carried his grandfather's notes about Sir Matthew's death. Richard skimmed them and laughed. "Huh, cut it down. That's what the Bible said? A warning about this tree?" He tossed the Bible aside, but it fell open on its own. "You shall look for me in the morning, and I shall not be here." That night, Richard Fell never woke. At midnight, the sheets shifted. Something crawled out of his bed, a monstrous shape bristling with gray hair, too many legs to count. It slipped into the branches of the ash tree and vanished. By morning, Sir Richard's body was found, blackened, lifeless. The curse had claimed another. The villagers gathered to cut the tree. The gardener climbed with a lantern, but when he looked inside the hollow, his face twisted in terror. He screamed, fell, dropped the light. The tree caught fire. And then the screaming began. Dozens of creatures burst out of the hollow. Spiders, each the size of a man's head, covered in gray hair, eyes like black glass. The villagers struck them down with sticks and fire until the ground was littered with twitching legs. When the flames finally died, the hollow revealed its secret. Bones. The remains of Mrs. Mothersoul. The witch had been there all along, feeding, breeding, her curse fulfilled. Today, visitors still come to Castringham Hall. The gardens, the lake, unchanged. But the ash tree, it's gone. Burned to ash. Or, at least, that's what they say. Because late at night, some claim you can hear scratching beneath the soil, where the roots once spread. If you listen closely, you might hear something moving, something alive, something with too many legs.